Okay, here we go.
It's like there's three of us in the household. There's you, there's me, and there's the games.
I get angry with games sometimes.
Or am I frustrated that I can't communicate myself effectively in real time? And do I need to get better at that?
Yeah, our relationship is almost old enough to vote.
I love playing video games with my wife, but for years I worried that gaming would ruin my life and my relationships. So I decided to reach out to some other couples and ask them about how gaming has changed their relationships.
I remember the first game we played together was Yoshi's Crafted World.
A goodie.
Yeah, a goodie, actually. It was really fun.
When I think back to our co-op journey, that's the game I think about. I'm being completely
So
serious.
deadpan.
The first time we met, you came over, and I was like, do you want to play Smash? Because I was so awkward. It was just like, here, let's play games. We both like games.
There's something to do.
Yeah, now we don't have to talk.
We didn't really start playing together until you moved your stuff in.
Yes.
It was like 3 months.
Yeah.
I had no idea how much game equipment you had.
Yeah.
No idea.
We didn't actually start gaming together until around college when I first got a PS3.
It was Overcooked, right?
Yeah.
Overcooked was the first game we played.
Yeah, we played on like our second date or something.
Right.
A good cadence, a good amount.
A good amount, yeah. And I think even if we're not like playing a game together, like gaming is an activity that we partake in together often.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably like 5 days a week, sometimes 7. It really depends on the week, but every time we play games, we play them together.
I would say almost every evening, but lately, not so much.
She's been playing Skyward Sword by herself a lot, and I've been watching and not helping.
So there's some weeks where we play every single day, and there's some weeks where we don't play anything at all. It kind of just depends on how we're feeling.
I'd say like maybe a week or two where we don't play games, and then like we'll play a game, and then there's sometimes where we play a game like every single day of the week.
Right, yeah, and then there's like Saturday where we play one game throughout the whole Saturday.
Yeah, there have been times where we just like sit down and we play a game for like 12 hours.
Oh, Sackboy Big Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
I want to
that
say
was
It Takes
fun.
Two, but that's cheating.
Yeah.
So Sackboy Big Adventure, I love 3D platformers. Playing through that game with you right at the launch of the PS5 was awesome.
Yeah.
That one's got to be Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Where I'd never played it before.
And it's my favorite series ever.
I wanted to be a game designer when I was in college, and had kind of fallen out of love with it a little bit, like gotten really discouraged. And playing Kingdom Hearts reignited for me this love for video games, and it reminded me of why I fell in love with video games and wanted to make them. And then it made me love you even more, because I was like, we're sharing this thing together, this is beautiful story, and it's like making me feel all these positive things.
I mean, it was fun when we first started with that tiny CRT and back to the old Mario Bros, excuse me.
I would pinpoint it to probably Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light.
Yeah, that one had a really nice blend of fighting and puzzle solving, and neither player was really prioritized, so it felt like each person was getting a chance to, to be involved in the game.
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two for you. For me, it's Unravel 2.
Oh yeah, we did.
I would say that one came before It Takes Two.
Yeah, it did.
For me, I really enjoyed like the swinging and the puzzles. And
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really helpful for like communication skills and working on building those, especially playing through hard games like Cuphead.
Yeah.
Because like I'll get angry while playing Cuphead because we keep losing, but then we have to talk through it. I can't just brood and
That's
be
true.
angry.
Yeah, you can't silo off.
We have to work through it to figure out how to beat the bosses. So I think communication skills definitely.
And also just like playing games with you is fun. And I enjoy it.
We both loved video games before we met each other, and video games are super important to both of us. And being able to share that with each other is like crossing everything you love together, basically. Like it's so much easier to understand each other and get along because we're sharing video games with each other rather than being defensive about them.
Yeah, it's been a huge part of us growing up. And then, I mean, we were still very into games when we met, so it's just been nice to like share basically like every part of our life through games.
I mean, it's just the perfect
way to do something positive together as a couple. Something that makes you laugh, something that makes you solve puzzles together. It just infusing a relationship with positive experiences.
Yeah, and it's more interactive than a movie, so like
Yes.
you're there together and you're fully engaged.
Yes.
There's no way one of you can not be participating.
You know, it's something like for both of us to look forward to. Something like fun and interactive that that like both of you can enjoy at the same time.
I feel like it's also just like been a fun bonding moment.
Yeah.
I enjoy sitting down with you and
Yeah.
playing games, and you know, it's a nice date night. It's a nice thing that we get to do with our son as well, and
Yeah.
get to see, you know, we're enjoying it and he's enjoying it. Yeah, so I'd say
we can use it as a thing to unwind together besides just like watching TV or whatever.
Maybe like puzzly games are fun.
I mean, for me, it's the platformers, 3D platformers.
Well, yeah, I love.
Sackboy,
That's true. I love.
It
3D
Takes Two.
platformers,
Those
too.
are my favorite types of co-op games to play. I feel like this is a genre that just invites the co-op experience.
Mm-hmm.
New Super Mario Brothers is another example.
Yeah, that's true.
Pristine, so much fun.
Yeah, we like when we can either work together to accomplish something, whether it's goofy or serious. If we're working together, we're having a good time. Or if something has a really good story and really good characters and music, we can both just be like bathing in that at the same time and be like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah.
When we do escape room games
Oh, yeah.
or puzzle solving games, it's fun to work together. Although I get a little frustrated. It takes far more communication.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like a few steps ahead, and I have to figure out how to communicate it without being rude. So perhaps that's not my favorite.
Well, we both have a pretty broad interest, like eclectic tastes when it comes to games, but generally when we're playing games together, we'll go for something pretty easygoing, something more casual, because it's something to relax at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think A Way Out was probably the gold standard for all the games that we played. That one was pretty great.
Yeah, that's like the perfect blend of like co-op gameplay plus a really engaging story.
I really like the kinds of games that make it so that you have to rely on each other. Like, I don't so much like the games where it's like I'm doing my own thing and you're doing your own thing.
It Takes Two. I had to like lift up the cars, and then like you had to go
smashing me down and killing me.
and I would like let him like get through like almost to the very end where you thought you were home free, and then I just be like, nah, denied.
So we did a Kingdom Hearts beginner any percent speed run where we split the controller. So I had half of the buttons and you had half of the buttons. And to get the time that we did, which was 3 hours and 9 minutes, and be competing with other people on that leaderboard was just insane. I remember like that speed run can be agonizing, really frustrating, and we were going through all of that together, getting super mad, and then the final hit of the final boss, we were just so
Yeah.
happy. It felt so good.
Playing like Trash Sailors with our girls, that was like one of the first games we played with them.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't fun. They didn't know how to do it, but they were having so much fun. And
They're like falling off the side, and we couldn't win a single level because they couldn't complete the tasks, but we played that game a
I
lot.
think that was just like one of the first games that both of them ever played, and we played with them.
So it was really cool to introduce Nick to some of the first games that I played as a kid, which were the Humongous Entertainment point-and-click adventure games. So like Freddy Fish, Pajama Sam, all those games. Those were some of my first memories of gaming, and it was really cool to just share that experience with him as an adult.
We were playing Big Buck Hunter until like 3 a.m.
oh, that was so funny. It's like you would never expect to be playing Big Buck Hunter.
So dumb.
We do something unique where we split the controller, and that you have to have like perfect communication skills for that to work.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something we've grown with and gotten a lot better at talking.
yeah.
And then also just like we can like link our brains now.
Yeah. So like a lot of the talking isn't just when you're gaming, it's after you're gaming or before you're gaming. You're like, you know, like reflecting together on like, okay, that didn't go great. Well, you know, we could have done better, or we could have had a better time playing that together.
You know, there are some games that we've played that are, like we said, very emotional, and just being able to, for me, cry through it and then talk afterwards and be very vulnerable and open. Yeah, just like an experience that creates more connection and more conversations, even though we already are very vulnerable and share everything and are very open. It just increases opportunities for conversations and in a new way.
I mean, really, I think as far as playing games goes, it really just helps you to adapt to each other's strengths and kind of get to know priorities and stuff.
I mean, I think it helps with problem solving, like in the real world, because, you know, we're solving problems together in this imaginary world, and then it kind of can translate over.
Right. Like, obviously, you're not going to be facing the same types of problems,
I
but
sure
you have,
hope
but you have those
I
skills.
hope our vacuum never wants to kill us.
Right? Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
So what I like about gaming in general is that you can go and experience like new worlds and new stories, and it's like a whole nother layer with co-op gaming. You get to do it with another person, going to like worlds like It Takes Two or Sackboy Bay Adventure, or like one of the dozens of Nintendo games that do co-op. Like, it's an opportunity to like have a shared, unique experience with someone in a more interactive way than you can with a movie or a TV show.
Now we go to like Comic-Cons and Final Fantasy orchestra concerts and stuff like that together.
Yeah, so there are plenty of types of experiences that, like, because gaming doesn't just have to be sitting in front of a TV and playing games. There's so much now in the world for gaming, and so it's been really cool getting to like travel to these different places and experience our love of gaming in different settings.
We have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old, so they go to bed in the evening and we cannot leave the house. So it's like a great way to have fun experiences because we have to stay home.
It makes such an easy date night, and there are so many different games out there that create a new experience. Like, you know, how many times can you go out to dinner or go to a movie for date night versus how many different worlds can you explore in a video game?
Someone here is a little competitive. And it can be tough sometimes where like I feel like I have to like prove something, and I get like mad that like I didn't win or something, but I think a lot of that has calmed down and we really just have fun, and we try to even make competitive games not a competition, because we'll do goofy things instead, or just like help the other person if the other person's struggling. And so it's, I don't know, we've been able to resolve anything that we've ever had an issue with.
No, it's never happened where not a serious conflict that
No.
is like a fight between us. So that's never
Or
happened.
it caused any drama or anything.
No, I think we already kind of covered this before, but just our life and kids, there's already like real stressful things. So it just video games is not that for us. It's like the main thing that we've like bonded over as far as
And had some
entertainment goes.
So I fall asleep really easily when I've been staring at screens for a long time. So sometimes we'll be playing late at night. And I'll just start like running into a wall because I've dozed off. So I'll just be like, you know, watch for it in our footage. Trust me, you'll see it. If you see my character just run off a cliff or something, that's because I'm asleep. Just
Obviously, if I was sitting playing games for hours on end on my own, then there would be a conflict and you would be pissed.
Yeah.
But that's where gaming together comes in and is a nice thing to do, because it's not like I'm sitting there ignoring you or you're sitting there ignoring me, because we are just actually
And I mean, we do
spending time
play
together.
games by ourselves, but it's like,
to a more reasonable extent.
yeah,
And not to the like detriment of ignoring each other.
yeah.
Let's try it. What could go wrong?
You gotta start with something good. You know,
Yeah,
you gotta go
that's
for
true.
one of the premier co-op
That's
experiences.
true. Pick a good game.
It's one of the best ways to get into the medium. If you pick something that's amongst the best, like It Takes Two, or the games I keep saying over and over because they're the best, like Sackboy Bay Adventure, A Way Out.
If you are really competitive, avoid those competitive games and play something that's a little more teamwork based, like Minecraft or something like that, where you're both just like, you can build together, you can build separately, you just learn the game together.
If you are in a relationship that you're planning to be in a long-term commitment, eventually, like let's say after a decade, you're going to want to have new experiences together. Video games are a great experience.
I would say treat it like any other just like activity with a friend. You know, the whole reason for playing games is just spending time together doing something fun.
You know, like anything that you've picked up on that you think that they're interested in, maybe like try to find a game that's like based around that, or in general something that's like not super complicated and isn't going to be super overwhelming for them, I think. And that's probably the best way to make like a good impression.
Don't let the first 5 games you try together define how much you enjoy playing games together.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna have some duds, you're gonna have some games that one of you loves, the other one doesn't, some that neither of you liked playing together, and then you'll have that like one game where you're like, oh my god, we want to do that again, we want to have that experience again, and then you'll be in a much more comfortable situation to share games with each other.
Yeah.
My advice is wait until there's a pandemic.
Yes.
You have no choice but to stay inside and do nothing but play video games together. Then you'll find that you really love it because you have nothing else to do.
It's a great way to explore new worlds together and just have fun as a couple, or as a pair of friends. And I think a lot of people have this preconception that gaming has to be this super competitive thing. But there's tons of games out there for every style, every vibe, every skill level, including cooperative games where you work together to achieve a common goal.
You just have to find a game or a type of game that fits your style
Right.
and your relationship. Because if you're playing a game that isn't your type of game, then you're gonna hate it.
Right. You got to find a game that both of you are going to enjoy.
Like, we're not ever gonna sit down and play Call of Duty together.
No,
Like, that's not.
It's not what we
that's
enjoy.
not what we like.
If you both enjoy shooters, then sit down and do it. This playlist right here is filled with all of our best couples videos. That'll include like game recommendations, a video about how we turned gaming into the ultimate couples date night, Valentine's gifts you could possibly get. So go ahead and check it out. We can't wait to see you over there. We love you guys.
Y'all are awesome.